Hello everyone, time for another map mastery. This time's going to be about Overtop, but before I go there, I want to talk about some minor changes to Revenge, Robert Lee, and Sweetwater. Okay, so first of all, I've missed on Revenge. This jump here, we climb onto this peg just by a normal jump, and then do a really good crouch jump up onto this window trim. It needs to be almost perfect, so it's not an easy jump to make, and if you do miss it, then you're going to fall right back down onto that slope on the peg, and you'll probably slip off it. So it can be pretty frustrating, but then from there you can just jump up here using the crouch jump again. And so you notice that this bit of wall has this curve to it, yeah, and that used to be the case for this wall and a few others, but now you can see that they're just straight right angles. So what that means is that even though you can still jump up onto this window trim here, you can't actually do the crouch jump up onto the top of the tower anymore, and similarly you can't do the surf climb jump up around here. Okay, so on Robert Lee we have this new little area here with the curtains in it. Really strange, don't really get it, but whatever, it's here now. And this is relevant to the water wheel because you can come down here. Don't run up against the wall when you do this because you'll run into this window that's completely tangible, all of that. But you can run down onto this trim and come around here and do a normal jump just to get over this fence. And of course you can do it the other way. It's a little bit tricky because you gotta watch out for this and you gotta watch out for that as well. So you can kind of jump around them or walk around them or whatever. This one here you can walk around, but as you can see, it's not so easy to not fall off. But do bear in mind that this here is not tangible, unlike this one here, for instance, because it is above the broken fences. So you can come around here, and then one way or another, make your way over, and climb up onto the top level. So one thing that I've missed on Sweetwater is that here, in this first staircase that goes down underground, you can jump into this corner, and you'll land on this trim here. Just a cheeky little spot. And so the two major changes to Sweetwater that matter for map mastery are this one here, this crate. You can do normal jumps off of it to get up onto the train carriage or onto the awning directly. And then the other one is that two of the cliffs have been mostly clipped off. So this one here is clipped off except for that little bit over by the tree. And then this one here is clipped off entirely. That one still completely accessible. And the obscure back route around here is still accessible, arguably. I don't think anyone's actually good enough to pull that off. But yeah, that's all the changes to Sweetwater, so I'm gonna move on to Overtop. Alright, so I just recorded like 15 minutes of Overtop map mastery footage, and it turns out that I didn't have my mic on, so that fucking sucks. Here's map mastery for Overwatch. I decided to do this because now that the map has not been updated in a little while, I think it's going to stay the way that it is. I was kind of expecting like the map to come out and then have a whole bunch of updates changing bits and pieces, but it kind of hasn't happened, which is, you know, good news for the map. It's a bloody good map, so now I'm reasonably comfortable that it's not going to change too much in the near future, so I think it's appropriate to do a video on it. So without further ado, let's get into it, starting from the top level. Alright, starting with these logs, you can walk up and down them without having to jump on both sides. There's not really much reason to be doing it on this side unless you've jumped up from there, which you wouldn't need to because you can go up the stairs anyway and it's faster. But yeah, well, it's good to know. You can jump up there. You can do a normal jump to get up onto this ledge, but to get all the way over there, you need to do a crouch jump. Speaking of crouch jumps, you can use a whole bunch of them to get up these crates, which sucks because you need to use 3 of them, so you got to wait for your stamina each time. I would recommend just going up the stairs. I'm pretty sure it's faster, unless someone is holding this angle, for instance. If you know someone's waiting for you to come up the stairs, then you have that option. Even so, you can do like a strafe jump over this way. They'd probably see you, but you get the idea. This is not complicated geometry. You can get up onto this trim on both sides. You can use the bales to get up, and you can also do a weird little... God, this is really uncomfortable now. You can also crouch to get under the, what do you call it, the roof. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, you can come over here. You used to be able to jump up onto that part of the blue roof, but you can't do it anymore because it is blocked off. Only that part is blocked off, so all of the rest of the roofs are now free access, assuming you can find a way to get up there. I would say that you could just do a bow jump or a belt jump to get up there, but that is maybe not even possible anymore because of the new 350 units per second speed limit. So about that, maybe it's possible, maybe it's not, but that's not what this is about anyway. This video is just saying that there's a clip there, and there's not a clip anywhere else. Getting up onto the bales, you can jump up onto this corner here. You do need to be right at the corner rather than the side of it. Why am I not jumping onto this? It's because I'm not following my own advice. If I walk even a little bit this way, I fall off of it, yeah? It's a lot easier on this side, because you've got a lot of space, and then you can jump up like so. Very easy. Okay, the grey building has 6 windows, and all of them are intangible, which means that you can use a full crouch jump to get straight through them. And going out the side one here is not really useful. You can short fall onto this crate, but even then you're still going to take some fall damage. Coming at these ones, you'll come out to this little ledge, which goes the whole way across. And then you can use the ones on the floor above to go down one floor out the back. If someone's chasing you, you can use this. They'll never guess. And then you can use this one height here up on the top floor to come out like this. I think this is probably useful. Yeah, this is a good idea. I only just came up with this now, but this here is the trigger for electricity damage when someone takes the lift up. So if someone takes the lift up, they're expecting anyone up here to get flushed out by the damage, yeah? Either by dying to it or by running away. But you could probably come out, that's my steam, sorry. You can probably come out onto this windowsill and like not take the damage. I just thought that up, so that's pretty cool. And you can also go down one story like this, but you will take 4 damage doing the full crouch jump. Now, if you already know about this next part that I'm going to talk about, which is these little lips here, these are new as of the Overtop update, the one update that I went through. You can jump onto these, but you cannot, unfortunately, jump from the trim out here to here. I think that maybe it's just barely possible, but the jump is incredibly difficult. I would easily rate this as the most difficult jump in the game if it is possible, because not only do you need to make such a long jump, but you also need to get around this wood piece here. So don't expect to be able to do that or even make it over to that crane, because you can't go far enough. So that sucks. You're gonna have to take some fall damage to get away from here unless you go back through the window. Or so I say, you might be able to short fall onto this fence. Let me give it a shot. Yeah, you can short fall onto this fence. So there you go. That's an escape route out of the grey building through the back without taking any fall damage. Alright, talking again about this space here, you can jump over to this little ledge, as most people surely know. But if you do a short fall off of either these little logs coming out or this white trim, then you will not take any damage on your way down, which is cool. If you want to mitigate fall damage coming off of this bridge, then you can either use that route, or it's actually faster to go down on the crane, and then air strafe onto the back of it, like so. Or you can go down the fence or the crate or whatever. I find that quite comfortable to go around like that. So those are methods for getting down this way without taking fall damage. Here at the back of the blue building, there is a weird and really quite difficult jump that you can use. By the way, this is Z fighting and like done wrong on both sides. That's kind of funny. Anyway, you can do a jump around to this roof of the tunnel at the back of the building. What you have to do is come through this gap, jump past this log, and go around this white trim. So it's quite difficult, but you can do it. I'll get a clip of me making this jump to prove that it's possible. There you go. So that's how you can do it. Not the best strafe, but you get the idea. And you can also come to this rooftop from this bridge up here. Also a reasonably difficult jump. You won't actually take fall damage, funnily enough. It looks like a long way down, but it's not. And from here you can shoot through these windows, or so you would think, but you actually can't because they are walls. They are invisible walls made of wood. Not sure how thick they are because you can't tell. Or presumably that thick. I'm assuming this entire blue box here is just a wood solid wall, yeah? So, what that means in practice, and I knew this already, is that you can shoot through the walls instead, and it's thinner, so you actually do more damage shooting through the wall than you do shooting through the window, which is ridiculous. But if you see somebody and you're like, oh, I want to shoot at him, it's actually better to just go and wallbang them like this instead than actually shoot them through the gap, which is weird. But that's the way it works. And you can't really see much through this one, but, you know, that's what you get. And you can also come along on this trim if you really want to, but there's nothing to do, nothing to jump to besides this, I suppose, but yeah. Also, if you want to jump from this area around to the front of the stairs, then be aware that you have to go the whole way around to this fence because these crates come out further than the edge of the platform. If you're not comfortable making that jump, then what you can do is do 2 crouch jumps to get over the top of them, one to get onto this little piece here, and one to get up. You can also peek over the top of these crates by jumping onto this trim here. If you're in the bottom floor of the blue building and you want to get up to the second, don't use these crates because it's actually slower than going up the rack of barrels. You can see here that these are clips, so you can do 1 crouch jump to get onto the one on the right, then 1 jump here, and another jump to get up on top of this clipping, which is actually lower than the platform on the second level. So 1 crouch jump and 2 normal jumps obviously is faster than doing 3 crouch jumps. You can also get onto that light by jumping on here, and then a crouch jump to get up on top. From the top floor of the blue building, you can mitigate some fall damage. By the way, you can come on the back of this fence by falling down onto the crates. Both of them will leave you with no fall damage, so even if you fall over like this, you can do that. But if you fall down onto the platform, then you'll take fall damage. But you can come down to it from this lower part of the 3rd floor. Getting back up, on the other hand, is a lot more difficult. There are 3 ways that I would recommend. One is to go through the grey building. Don't take that because it's too slow. Come around here. And it takes you a bloody long time, but finally you manage to get up here. Second route comes through the brown building, up the stairs, up the ramp, and across the bridge. If the train is in the way, then that will be slower, I think. And then the final one is to climb up this way, and this is probably going to be a little bit of a section on its own because this is actually kind of complicated. You can't do a jump from the train tracks to this crate. You have to do a crouch jump, so that sucks. Then you need a crouch jump to get up here, and then another one to get up here. So you can do it in 3 crouch jumps. Honestly, it's probably still faster, but the other thing you can do is come over to these logs, jump over here, and then do another jump to get up onto there. And this is actually a really difficult jump because you need to get around that trim but still be far enough, still close enough to it that you can make this jump. Quite difficult. If you're not confident doing it, just do a normal jump onto that crate and then crouch jump onto this one. So no matter what you do, if you want to come up here, it's gonna be a bit of a hassle. Although if the stores are open, I'll make sure that this one's facing inwards so I can jump onto it. Then you can jump onto here for some cool unexpected angles. Since vertical belt jumping is basically not possible anymore, you cannot jump up that way, and the same goes for the spot in the grey building. So that fucking sucks. Cannot get up here. I should mention that the reasons that I know that now but I didn't know before is because I just tested it for the first time. Yes, it definitely turns out that you cannot belt jump anymore. That was my Discord notification. Sorry about that, I'll turn them off. But yeah, I'm going to assume the same goes for bow jumping as well, because, you know, it's even faster than belt jumping. So that sucks, but that's what we have to live with. You can jump onto this lamp over here by doing a crouch jump. I'm getting stumbled, but yes, it is possible. I'll give you a clip, don't worry. Dude, I'm hitting the fucking speed limit doing this. This is something new. Weird, well, whatever. Okay, this is not map mastery related, so sorry to talk about this right now, but jumping off of the slope was stumbling me when it shouldn't have, and I'm assuming that's relevant to the speed limit thing. When you jump, or when you leave the ground and enter the air, that's when it checks for you being over 350 meters per second, yeah? So I'm assuming there's something to do with this downward slope. It's probably the same reason you get such speed from slope hopping in the first place. Is making it so that when I do this crouch jump and try to go up high to get on there, I'm getting stumbled. So that's kind of mysterious. Maybe you need some investigation, but anyway, I'm going to stop talking about this. You get the idea. You can do a crouch jump from this fence up onto here. Not much to do from up here, but you can do it. It's like in the blue building. This building also has a nice little light that you can stand on if you want to surprise some people or something like that. At the back of this area with the safe, you can do a crouch jump up onto the safe. I think you need to jump onto the door, and then you can do a crouch jump up onto this rack. Or you can just climb it the old-fashioned way. All of the windows in the brown building are like the ones in the blue building. They are walls, so shooting at someone over there is not going to do much damage at all. I'm pretty sure I've done this with a Spencer before. There was some guy standing in the, you know, the arch of the tunnel. So I was shooting at him, and I think I was doing like 14, 15-ish damage to him each time. There's nowhere to stand out on the back of these except for these pegs, which are below this windows anyway. So there's not much reason that you'd have to shoot through these ones anyway. But bear in mind that it cannot be done normally. This one here, yeah, you can stand there, but, you know, chances are you're not going to use this, like, maybe at that angle. But yeah, as I said before, better to wall bang than to shoot through the window. Like the crates at the back of the blue building, a lot of the crates in this map have trims because they're stacked up in these twos here, so you can stand on these and shoot over them at some pretty cool angles. Same goes for these ones in the middle here, although there is the stuff above them, so like here I have to be crouched, but over here I don't, right? So yeah, it's the sort of thing that you probably just want to, like, you know, learn by doing a few times rather than try to memorize them. These crates over here, the first two are completely intangible, so you can like hide in them if you want to. And then this one here, of course, you can ride it. These two whiskey bottles here, you can, you'll see sometimes they actually get squished under the track because they collide with the car. So like, if you see one's missing and the other one's not or something like that, or you suspect that maybe they're gone, you can check underneath and they'll be hanging upside down at some strange angle underneath the tracks, yeah? So if they're missing and you expect them to not be missing, then you can check underneath. The only way to make them respawn normally is to just like drop off and then drink them from beneath, which means that you're gonna die in the process. So it's not really worth it, but well, whatever, you get the idea. These are not tangible, but this, funnily enough, is. So as a party trick, you can just jump up on this and like surf on it. It's kind of fun. You can go the whole way there and back again. Let me have a shot. Yeah, I like this sort of thing. I think it's kind of silly. Okay, just like the grey building, the windows in the red building are intangible, but they do have the glass in them, which means that you have to break it before you go through. You can jump over to this windowsill and come through this one, so that's kind of neat, unique to the red building. And then you can do a crouch jump up onto this fireplace. Also out at the back on the balcony. Not only can you run on this trim, by the way, but you can also get up onto this awning by doing an air strafe jump from there. On the off chance that you can still do like a 45-degree belt jump, you might be able to come up this way, but I wouldn't count on it. It seems like a pipe dream at this point. Okay, about the back of the brown building, these pegs that I mentioned before, you can jump onto them like this, and you can sort of jump off of these ones that are underneath the windowsills, but it's very difficult, so don't expect to be able to do it. There you go, finally got one. You can see just fading away in the distance is this Service Eva SV no-clip speed changed to 1. This is my recommendation for you. If you want to use a no-clip, set the speed to 1, because 1 is 300 units per second. So that means that no matter what you do, you're not going to be exceeding the speed limit when you let go of no-clip, because it actually applies there. It fucking sucks. Okay, underneath the red balcony is these boxes and barrel, and you can use these to climb up onto the balcony. You do have to jump outwards when you come onto the second jump here, because otherwise you will bump your head on this. But then from here, simple jumps, get up there, nice and easy. This is also the location of one of these 3 whiskey platforms that you can use to mitigate some fall damage and open up some new routes. So you can fall onto this one, drink all the whiskey down here, and I will take a moment to explain where the other 2 are. One of them is over here at this cutaway, and then the other one is underneath the crane between grey and blue. And this one, actually all of them can be drank from below, so this is kind of getting into the bottom area now, but I'll say it anyway. You can drink those ones from below very easily, go up onto the fence if you're having some trouble. This one here is the trickiest. You have to do like a crouch jump and then come around. Even with a good crouch jump falling down onto here, you don't take full damage, so don't worry about that. And then over here, you can just jump and grab them from over here, or if you are here, what you can do is come over this way, and this here is intangible, and you can drink them like so. But you will have to worry about this little piece of wood here on your way back, because you will bump on that. This part here is also tangible, so you can come out this way if you want, but as you probably already know, most of the shit around here is intangible. You can walk through all of this fucking geometry, right? So like jumping between here to here, you don't need to worry about anything, just go, right? This is tangible though, funnily enough. Probably already found out that these ones not so. Yeah, I don't think I'll go through everything that is or isn't tangible at the bottom in this video, but I will touch on some important ones that you might not know. From this whiskey platform, it is actually possible to jump over this fence, but it's quite hard because this fence is kind of higher than it looks in relation to where you're gonna bump your head as you come around this way. So do be careful doing this jump. I've many times expected this to be super easy and just gone for it, and then fallen down that way and killed myself when I was on like a whiskey run or whatever. So yeah, be careful. If you want to go from the train tracks down to the minecart and you don't want to take full damage, then you're going to have to airstrafe into this little gap and land on the slightly higher bit of track. If you land straight down here, like perpendicular to it, then you will take full damage, so you have to airstrafe in just a little bit. Since the train was coming past now, I figured I should point this out. You can jump up onto this here. Will be quite difficult because of the new speed limit, but you can do it presumably. If you jump on the same direction that the train is going, then you will get stumbled. So you're going to have to jump at a weird angle like I just did now, except do it better and actually make it up onto this trim here. So you can stand up on here. This is kind of neat. And then of course you can do it for the one at the other end as well. And I'm not going to bother waiting for the train because it's kind of obvious that you can. Unfortunately, you can't make it over to here. It used to be possible with a belt jump from that part of the roof, but you probably can't even access that part of the roof anymore anyways. Okay, back at the minecart tracks again. You can do a crouch jump over here, and you can also do one around this pillar because the pillar is tangible, funnily enough. The rest of it isn't, but the pillar is. Go around the pillar, over to there. Whoops. There you go, that's how you do it. Okay, and more fall damage mitigation that I should have mentioned before when I told you about the drop from there to there. You can run off this and then airstrafe inwards immediately and land on this crate, and that means no fall damage. Over here you can do a crouch jump to get up onto this weird little beam that comes along the side of this platform. And yeah, well, that's pretty much all there is to it. That beam is this bit of wood, so you can also come around from this side, thankfully, and you can go over like this. So that's pretty fun. On this walkway, you can jump up onto this fence. This is not the only way onto the fence. The other way would be to jump up onto that box. Actually, I might as well just do it. Jump onto that box and then up onto the fence like this. And actually, you might not be able to make the jump over from one to the other, but whatever. From here, what you can do is jump onto this, and you can stand up here, and then you can come over here. Can't stand up on these, what do you call it, perpendicular ones, but these parallel ones you can stand on. From here you can fall down onto the Scottish flag, and of course you can get onto the lamp many ways. You can also get onto these ones. It's a little bit trickier because you need to do a jump from these crates over here. This beam is intangible, so you don't need to worry about it. But what you do is a crouch jump around like that. A little bit harder than it looks, but it can be done. And then you can come over here. So you have these areas where you can pretty much dominate the lower level, and of course be dominated by all the people that are spawning in all different directions. Hopefully you bring your Spencer, otherwise you will struggle. Okay, talking about this area next to the red crate, this is one of my favorite parts of the map. You can jump up on these things, and then from here you can do a crouch jump out of here. This beam is not tangible. How confusing. Same goes for this one over here. So from this building, this storage area, you can jump over it freely. You don't actually have to bump into it, that's just a bad jump. But this is the more exciting part of it, is that you can come in here, not only to this side, but also down here, funnily enough. And there's this trim that comes all the way over to there and then stops. It might be possible to like do a long bunny hop line from that side and then come over here, but whatever, it doesn't matter, no one's going to do that. Coming along this way can be a little bit tricky because you will run into this beam, vertical beam on your way past. So do an airstrafe jump around that, and then from here you're going to need to crouch jump up onto the stairs, walk up a tiny bit, and then jump over, and that is how you escape. And you can jump through this way as well, but it's quite tricky. Be careful. If you mess it up, don't worry, you're just going to land on the outside, and it's not a big deal. You can also come on the outside of here, which will lead you over to the outside of that. Whoops. Quite an easy jump actually that I just fucked up. Just need to be careful of that, so I would recommend crouch jumping it. And, well, you can come around the outside of everything in this map basically. Two easy ways to the storage roof. One, crouch jump, bunny hop, up you go. Another one, crouch jump, bunny hop, up you go. Also from here you can get to the other Scottish flag. Pretty simple. Very tragically, this platform here is too high for you to crouch jump onto, just barely. So unfortunately what you're going to have to do to get on top of it is jump onto this fence. You cannot do a normal jump from this side, so you're going to have to crouch jump if you want to come from this side, probably faster anyway. And then jump up onto here, and you can come around this way or this way. This is not tangible, but this is, so Well, remember that, I suppose. Here underneath that shack, you can actually walk around the outside of this fence because none of that stuff is tangible. If you want to find out for yourself whether something is tangible or not, then you can shoot it, and it will make a bullet hole if it exists, and it will not make a bullet hole if it does not exist. So if I shoot this part beneath it, you can see no bullet hole. That means it is fake. Don't believe it. Okay, time for something that is really difficult and not very useful, which is surfing down this beam, this diagonal beam going down, to fall onto the very bottom of the minecart track. Come down like this, use the slowdown from your surfing to mitigate your speed, and then as you come down here, surf off of it onto the minecart track. You can see I just barely made it in. You can imagine how useless this is, but you know, it's part of the map mastery, so in it goes. Well, I made it just before, so you can trust me that this is possible. I don't want to bother wasting my time doing that because it's not very fun or good. But I think that pretty much wraps up Overtop. Oh yeah, these barrels. You can jump straight onto these barrels, which means that you can come past all of this geometry without having to do a crouch jump, which is going to mean that you're going to save a bit of time. However, they are, you know, just barely at the height that you can jump onto, so make sure you hold shift when you do this to get a free acceleration drift. You can see I accelerate much faster when I jump onto these using the accel drift. So hold shift and then immediately let go once you get that acceleration, and it will be nice and quick for you. So that might take a little bit of practice, I think, but that is the way to get that way the fastest. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is this awning here between blue and brown. You can crouch and come the whole way beneath and kind of hide in it like this. And you can also go over to this trim if the fucking train gets out of the way. Oh, I'm stuck now. Okay, don't go here when the train is in the way because you'll get stuck. I should probably just kill you. I've got to put it on now so I won't die. But you can come over here and you can go the whole way under the bridge and then come out the other side back over to the awning. That takes an air strafe jump, so if you're not comfortable with those, be careful. Of course, you can jump between these. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, by the way, you can do normal jumps to get across this crane. You don't need to do a crouch jump to get over here. Yeah, I think that's about it for Overtop. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a good one. And I intend to do a lot of videos in the next few days because I have a huge amount of free time. I have the apartment to myself. I have a whole bunch of time where I've got no commitments and everything. So, yeah, you can expect some videos coming out. I'll probably do one on the Spencer, maybe some gun tutorials or something. I don't know. If there's something that you want to particularly leave a comment. I think someone left a comment yesterday or the day before asking for something, but I can't remember what it was just now. So I'll go have a look at that. But anyway, yeah, that'll be the channel for the next little while. Yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.